What's going on, you guys? Petplatypus here, and it's time to review Dragon Ball Super Episode 20. So this episode of Dragon Ball Super, it was the movie. Thanks for watching this video. Tell me what you guys thought of this episode of Dragon Ball Super in the comment section below. Follow me on Instagram, and no. It was very, very much like the movie, though. We had a couple extra scenes of Goku and Vegeta training, which was interesting, actually really interesting, and the Jocko scene was a little bit different because of Trunks and Goten, and he doesn't meet up with Bulma's dad, but, you know. Other than that, it was basically the same as the movie. He comes down, he's like, hey Bulma, you know the guy who beat Frieza, right? He's coming. And I love how they talk for a while about Trunks and stuff, and how Goku beat him, and Trunks came from the future, and then he finally just says, you know, Frieza's going to be here in an hour, and Bulma's like, what the fuck? So, that was funny. But yeah, a lot of scenes were just really similar to the movie when she's like, he's back, and he's like, yeah, with an army. And it's just like 1,000, he's like, yeah. It's just really similar to the movie, and I don't really know how I feel about it because having the same content as the movie is fine, kind of like the Battle of Gods arc, except it was animated differently, they weren't doing it shot for shot. Whereas this is very shot for shot like the movie, but I don't really mind too much. That whole conversation was funny, and it was fine, and in the movie, Goten and Trunks don't know about this, so they don't go to fight. We can assume it's the same here, because they get locked inside his space pod, and they can't hear what's going on outside while Bulma and Jocko are talking, so they probably don't know what's going on. But seeing them interact with Jocko was kind of funny, and seeing them in this arc in general was kind of cool, because they weren't in the movie at all, Goten and Trunks. So that happens. We also get some of Frieza at the beginning, saying he's going to train for 4 months, also from the movie. What he did to Tamago was fucking savage. That was badass. Like, that was just classic fucking Frieza. Like, this motherfucker just blows this dude away. Or he doesn't blow him away, but he just blows different parts of his body down with his fucking death beams, and it's just awesome. He's fucking Frieza. He takes no shits. No thank you for bringing him back to life. He's just like, alright, I'm alive again. Cool. You guys did well, I guess. So that was awesome. And, yeah, he's going to train for 4 months, and how he's going to train, we don't quite know, but he comes down to Earth by the end of this episode, so he may have trained by himself. Some people wanted him to train with Champia. That would have been cool. I just wonder why Champia would have trained him. There would have been an explanation, of course. I just don't know what it would have been. But he's down. We got all the fighters ready to go, so that's cool. Krillin goes old school and shaves his head just like the movie. We got to hear the We Are One Piece opening on his phone again. So, with all that being said, the new stuff that's not like the movie. Goku and Vegeta training. Whenever characters power up in Dragon Ball, we never really thought about it, but they do have an aura around them, and it looks badass. Whis tells them to power up without that, which is very interesting. He says, power up your ki by keeping it inside your body to not alert your opponent. So is this like a way to increase your power while not, like, getting a scouter to go off or getting someone's senses to go off? Instead of creating the aura around you, you just build it up from the inside? Because they do punch each other and the aura comes out. And he says, no, don't do that. So maybe this is a way to hide how high you're making your power, how high you're raising it without, you know, alerting them. So that's really, really interesting, and I never really thought of something like that. And then they clash fists, and by the way, the training animation was great. Like, their rapid punches at each other while training looked better than some of the stuff with Goku versus Beerus, which is fucking annoying, but whatever. Yeah, they clash fists, and it looks like the Super Saiyan God Blue aura starts to come out for a second. In both of them, I'm assuming. And Whis also says that Beerus chose both of them. And of course Beerus walks out, what the fuck are you guys doing here? There's a couple explanations. One, he's playing them, he knows exactly why. Well, he says, yeah, I guess you guys were training, but he's playing it off like he didn't pick them for this, and Whis says otherwise, so I don't think it's a contradiction. I think it's Beerus either is playing them, and he's acting dumb, or he literally forgot because he's Beerus, but yeah, it's cool. No explanation on how Vegeta would have gotten Super Saiyan God, though. This is kind of really problematic. The only method we know of is to have the Saiyans pull their energy in, so if he discovered it by some other means, I'd like to see it, but it looks like he's going to skip straight to Blue, possibly, so that's kind of weird. Hopefully that doesn't happen. If it does, it is kind of problematic, but unless there's an explanation, of course. But yeah, with Goku, it's kind of obvious. He has Super Saiyan God already. He's training his body. He's going to unlock Blue through training. It makes sense. With Vegeta, it's a little bit different. But that's the entire episode. I'm trying to remember if there's anything else. You know, Bulma tries to get Whis' attention. She even uses the same food to try to get his attention. That's something the Battle of Gods, you know, like, oh, we're going to have to party on a boat. And instead of Vegeta doing the bingo dance, we're going to have him do, like, these food things. He's going to do the octopus thing. In this, it's exactly the same. So, I don't know. I'm okay with it overall. It looks like they're going to do Resurrection of Frieza fairly quickly. The pacing has been really good. And I guess that brings me to the technicals. I mentioned it before with Goku and Vegeta training, but the animation throughout this episode was pretty damn solid. And Krillin looked weird bald. It's not an animation thing. It was just... He's bald. Krillin is, like, known for being bald, but for some reason, once he got all that hair shaved off, he just seemed weird to me. I don't know, I haven't seen him bald in a while, I guess, but... Yeah, the animation was good throughout the whole episode overall. I really liked it. And the highlights were definitely the training, Frieza blowing away Tamaga like that, or whatever his name is. And, you know, just a couple other shots here and there, but... Yeah, the animation was good, the pacing was good, the story progression. Frieza's back. He finds out about Majin Buu being defeated, and he's like, oh yeah, it's a guy that fucking my dad told me not to ever encounter or fight. Which is interesting that he knew who Majin Buu was. That's kind of interesting for the story, but kind of ties things in. He says, I'm going to train. I'm going to dedicate to training to unlock my potential, so he goes to do that. And then he comes back down to Earth. By the end of the episode, we got all the fighters ready, so there was some pretty good progression here. I'd probably give this episode a solid 8 out of 10. It wasn't like a mind-blowing great episode, but it had a lot going for it, especially the training with Whis I thought was really interesting. So, yeah, I give it a solid 8, 8.5 out of 10, and that's pretty much it. So, thanks for watching this video. Tell me what you guys thought of this episode of Dragon Ball Super in the comment section below. Follow me on Instagram. I post things there sometimes. Give this video a thumbs up. That would help me out a lot. Subscribe if you haven't already or if you like what you've seen here, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.